Hey YouTube, this is Zach with Achilles Financial. Today we're going to be talking about Boeing, and the reason why I want to talk about Boeing is because they have the potential, as they start to head lower, to really rise back up to about the 240 range is primarily where we're going to be looking at. Boeing has been falling with the broader market, associated with a decline in the value of the US dollar as well as a decrease in the 10-year bond yield. So following the broader industrial sector moving downwards, I think that we've opened up the position or the potential for the stock to come back up to where, again, we were bumping up against that 240 range that we've seen. So the first thing that I would highlight if we look over the past 3 months is the stock started this gradual decline. The more and more emphasis was placed on the COVID variant. So they have had a number of significant amounts of sales and delivered planes over the course of the past 6 months. Sales seem to be recovering. They have a very, very strong backlog. You can look at their individual sales reports that they produce on a monthly basis, even down to where their planes are going. We've done that on this channel before. But the main thing that we want to focus on for the purpose of this conversation is that they actually sent over a number of plane technicians to have their 737 come back online to go through the last round of testing that's needed to be able to fly. That's when we saw this pickup last week. We played that news, and now we're starting to see that decrease again with broader conversations surrounding just overall market downwinds. Now, the reason why I want to start buying in potentially at these levels is we have yet to see a huge decrease in price. A lot of the overall market is only down 1% on the day. And for that reason, I think that this is a short little flip trade that we can look northwards. And I think the price will appreciate here. Now, some of the items that could continue to hurt the stock price overall, just to showcase, hey, this is not an easy move to justify, is the stock was trading north of $300 a share, and even back in 2019, north of $400 a share. And while a lot of stocks have hit new all-time highs, plane manufacturers have not quite been so lucky, and you can see that the company has actually come back significantly from where they crested under $100 a share. So some of the things that we want to look at as the company begins to hit this 220 range, this is really more of a gut feeling or just from watching the stock, and this is one that we've traded quite a bit. The things that I'm looking for, again, you can see that 220 level is pretty critical, and we came back up within a few days from when they did crest underneath that. But I think there's a lot of potential to just see this 220 back to 240 range, especially with the fact that they will be announcing their plane orders and sales here in another 2 weeks after the end of August, as well as we have the potential to start hearing additional information associated with the 737. For that reason, I like the idea of buying in at these 220 levels, especially as it gets closer. Again, right now we're sitting at 222, going lower than that after hours. I think that this is a great opportunity for a share play. Now, I have been looking at the options, some of the call options, but Boeing has a lot of premium tied to them. So for that reason, if you're looking to limit capital, I would look at the potential for debit spreads that have some time on them versus strictly just calls, because again, we could still move lower. I don't believe that there's any real support associated with that 20 or 220 line. Again, that's really just my opinion, and this graphically kind of helps to defend that. But I think what's more than likely is we have the potential for two pieces of good news. And the other thing I would highlight is there is ongoing potential for conflict around the world. And as Boeing is a defense stock, they can sometimes benefit from that, as harsh as that news can be. So for that reason, I like the potential for just a quick flip here. You can see that the stock has bounced around pretty significantly in this 220 to 240 range with a few attempts at breakouts. And I don't think that we'll complain if it goes a lot higher. And it looks like the potential for downside at the end of the day was probably going to be close to this $200 a share range, which again, I think that we still have quite a bit of upside. At the end of the day, Boeing is and has been a long-term hold because this is a company that frankly is too big to fail, whether you agree with the policy or not. but as such, I do think that this is one where there's limited downside, which is very, very dangerous to say, but it's one that I'm looking to enter and build a position around 220 and then sell as we get closer to that 240 mark, maybe around 238, depending on the news that comes out associated with that. So that's my approach to Boeing. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm by no means a financial advisor. I'm just some guy on YouTube, so make sure you do your own due diligence. If you want to see what trades I'm making, feel free to join the Discord in the description down below. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, drop in the comments section down below. Thanks. Talk to you later.